backfield. He is in the shotgun. He's a play-action pass. Means he faked the run. He's going to throw the ball. He has a man wide open. He counts the 45, the 50, the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
Yeah, check it out. Michael Harrison to Jordan Saldana for a 95-yard touchdown that brought Edinburgh to within 3, but Mac High outlasted the Cats for a 20-17 win. But Michael Harrison is our top performer when it comes to quarterbacks in Week 1, 265 yards and 2 touchdowns, followed very closely behind by both Noe Gonzalez of EdcouchElsa and Brandon Garza of Harlingen. How about wide receivers? Isaac Martinez only caught 4 balls for EdcouchElsa, but they all went for scores. Unbelievable for him. And on running backs, well, it looked like Trevor Spates once again, 242 yards, the only guy over 200 yards this week. Props to Esteban Oliveros of Progreso and Jaden Taylor of Harlingen South, however, as well. But let's talk a little bit about EdcouchElsa. We talked about Isaac Martinez. Mike, this team is so loaded. They have just trounced 2 5A teams in a row. Is there anything that this team cannot do after wins over Weslaco and PSJA North?
Well, you got 33 lettermen back. 4 players were all-state, 3 first-team all-staters. It kind of reminds me of an all-star team a little bit. They have so many weapons, from Noe Gonzalez, a quarterback, who's gone 24 of 30 for 449 yards and 6 touchdowns in the first 2 games against 5A teams. And you have a guy like Israel Loreto, Miguel Mariscal, Mark Garcia, Isaac Martinez, Diego Garcia on offense. You have so many options to go to. And then on defense, you got Robert Trevino, who already has 4.5 sacks in the first 2 games and 9 quarterback pressures. Brian Villa, Bucky Barrera, Brandon Villa. I mean, these guys, there's no going wrong. They can do anything.
Yeah, it seems like they can. And Israel Loreto, had his neck injured, but should be back in the coming weeks. Your thoughts on the Jackets?
Well, I mean, just listening to them rattle off the list, that's why you look at them as good as they are, because they're not going to rely on one guy or 2 or 3 or 4, and that's on offense or defense. They got strengths on both sides. That's why they're that good. Are they the best, though?
Are you surprised at all, Mike, that there's been no problems transitioning from Joe Solis to Joe Marie Solar?
Not at all. I think they got the right guy in there as a head coach. They had a guy that they respected, who was within the program, who they already liked. And then they brought 2 coordinators from La Villa, and Danny Perez and Joe Garcia.
2 other EdcouchElsa guys.
Offensive, defensive coordinators, who you can tell the transition has been really smooth, if not even better than the way it was before. And I mean, they're flying now.
Yeah, but like Joe said, are they the best? Because Port Isabel is making a claim that they should definitely be in that discussion. LB Bennett had an unbelievable Friday night, scoring on this play on offense and then scoring again on defense after this Scott Arnold 1-yard score. PI just seems to get better and better. They want state. Everything they do is geared towards state. Joe, what are your thoughts on PI after 2 games?
Well, I think they're still on target to believe that, and I think the reason is, again, they've got multiple players on both sides of the football, but the bigger issue is that they can control the football on the offense. That running game can outright take some of these big high-flying offenses that may see you in the 3rd and 4th round of the playoffs and negate that. And I think with that, you look at them, still believe you can go to state.
You think EdcouchElsa wishes they could still play Port Isabel the way they did a couple of years ago? Do you think PI wants to take on EE this year?
I know us media and the fans would love to see it. But here's a thing that I think would separate them. EdcouchElsa don't have as many players that play both sides of the ball.
True.
And Port Isabel has a bulk of their players that play both sides of the ball. So you wonder how it would look like in the 4th quarter. But talent-wise, on paper, this matchup would be fun to watch.
All right, real quick hits on the sub-5A level. Rio Hondo comes up with a huge win at home over Juarez Lincoln. Joe, your thoughts on a 3A beating a 5A?
Well, I still think Rio Hondo is going to be better than what you're seeing now. They're still getting healthy. I mean, there were so many guys on crutches at the scrimmage I covered. It was crazy. And so they're going to get better.
St. Joseph, meanwhile, has the top offense in the Valley, over 100 points already. Can anybody stop the Bloodhounds, Mike?
If they keep playing the way they are, I don't think so. But until they play some elite competition, that's where you'll really find out how good they are. I don't know if Progreso is the kind of team where you can really see exactly what they have. But time will tell later in the season.
Yeah, they 7 seconds or less once that ball hits the ground, they are snapping it. So it's a fun offense to watch. We are coming right back on Sunday Sports Extra. Going to talk about taking the trophy. That's what Harlingen did. Big time. Again, the Battle of the Arroyo. And we're also talking about the comeback of the week. How about those PSJA Bears? They are 2-0. We'll talk about it next on Sunday Sports Extra.